Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lundus Instructs audio podcast. I am your host, Lundus01, and wow, it's been a while. I'm sorry that I haven't been keeping up with the schedule as of late, but that's just because there wasn't until a few days ago enough news to really make any episodes. And to be honest with you, I was kind of too busy with real life stuff. But now everything's fine again, and oh wow, there's some stuff going on. Finally, there's a lot of activity now. I'm starting to see a little bit more people interested now because, of certain events that have happened. I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, so much has happened. So I would like to just start off with something that I could have mentioned last episode, but I didn't, and I just kind of sort of forgot about it because, now, it was just like something that I felt like didn't really deserve any attention, and that was this man by the name of Premium. No one really knows who he is. This man by the name of Premium was ranked President of the United States, I believe, by Bernard Caldwell. However, it's not officially confirmed that Bernard Caldwell made him president or ranked him as president in the Discord group. But somehow, some way, he became president of the United States, or was ranked president of the United States without getting elected. And for a brief moment here, he tried to coup the United States. He tried to fire the entire federal government. It was this whole thing that Group Moderation has made sure to very closely monitor and get rid of all evidence. So, in their eyes, it never happened, because I cannot see any evidence of this happening. But it was something that happened. A lot of you, I'm sure, are aware that a lot of people were asking me, why didn't you put that in your last podcast? But that happened, and I don't think anything is really going to come out of it. I think that was just really because, people just, or I guess just there wanted to be some sort of drama or something, and some people were kind of concerned that, AR was dying because some random guy had just become president, but whatever. That was something that was happening, and, it's over now. It was a one-day thing. Some more news. Lawyers right now in AR are in incredibly high demand. Both the House of Representatives and the Senate are still hiring for lawyers. The Department of Justice, the new businesses that are being propped up, news networks, other things are looking for lawyers, and there are about maybe 5 active ones, myself included. So, there's just so much demand nowadays, and I'm sure that if a lot of people knew just how much demand there was for lawyers in this AR, I'm sure a lot of people would get into it. But also moving on, one thing I want to discuss really quickly was that I know that I said that I was predicting that with the Senate election, the Federalists would win a lot of seats, and I said that last episode. And I was and back then, the Federalists had control, I think, 4 of the 7 seats, and then the Independents 3 other ones. I'd like to very quickly bring up a statement or a picture shared by the President pro tempore. Just let me get it real quick. So as you can see right here, this is a official image by the President pro tempore, posted it in Government Alerts, of the current seating chart of the Senate. As you can see right now, there are 4 vacancies, and at the time I had made that previous episode, the Federalists were pretty much in control with only a few constitutionalists, but now the President pro tempore, I guess, is that's trying to say, and this entire column of senators are constitutionalists, as well as this one here. So there is now a confirmed supermajority in the Senate by the constitutionalists, something that was completely unprecedented, something that no one saw coming, that all of these senators that just came were all just swayed to the side of the constitutionalists. But moving on to probably the main reason you tuned in today, that is we now have, here, let me just go back to my main title page. Yeah, we now have official confirmation that Mitch Matrix has been impeached from the office of Vice President of the United States. And people are like, what? What the hell? How did this happen? So if you may recall, a while ago, I was talking about this on the show. I said that Mitch Matrix had illegally, in my words, illegally placed a bill to so there was, back when the whole entire impeachment thing was happening for Akon artists so long ago, there was, the actual impeachment of Akon artists was voted on by the Senate as its own thing. It was that, do you wish to impeach the president? The overall response was no, by the Senate and the House. Well, I mean, the House voted yes, but the Senate voted no, and therefore it didn't go anywhere. So that apparently, was like, that was just for the president. That was not for the vice president. However, the vice president thought, or I guess either he made a mistake of some kind, that he thought that maybe they were voted on as a package, because they were sort of delivered. They weren't delivered as a package, of course, because you can't have one bill proposing the impeachment of two of the most powerful leadership positions in the United States. But he thought probably that they were just a package, or he made some sort of mistake. I don't think that he did this to try to, try to disrupt federal process, or try to, do something illegal, because I feel like, if he was smart, he would just not have done that, because, of course, at that time, the Senate had control, the Constitution had control of the Senate, and he wouldn't have gotten impeached anyway. But today, or yesterday, the President pro tempore made an official statement. Let me get that as well. Alright, so here is the statement from the office of the President pro tempore. Here, I'll read it with you. You can read it at home. But pretty much, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but pretty much it's saying that the Vice President illegally moved the charges of impeachment into, dismissed, even though they weren't voted on. So the President pro tempore said this was, of course, illegal to do, so he has now been impeached. And the Vice President has indeed been impeached. If you want to learn more about it, there's a bunch of papers and a bunch of stuff written by the President pro tempore about this. If you haven't read this already, you can pause the video and read it now, but I'll be moving on. So then, now, what happens? So now, pretty much, a lot of people have gotten a better and better and better opinion of Akon artists. There has been such, there's been so much more support for the president now than there has ever been. A lot of people, you could see in polls that, Akon artists was doing generally well. And with Mitch Matrix in the polls, you saw him getting, more dislikes than likes, as Akon artists got more likes than dislikes. So it was good that Mitch Matrix was removed. Mitch Matrix, didn't do anything pretty much as vice president. He was just there. It was pretty sad. But I don't think that even, you look at it, so Akon artist, when he was running, he originally nominated, I believe it was Flour Soup or Savory Soup or something like that. I don't know what his name was, as his vice presidential candidate. But when Bayan Filipino, I have a prediction that Bayan Filipino dropped out of the race with and made a deal with Akon artist to drop out of the race if Mitch Matrix, who was who was Bayan Filipino's running mate, would become Akon artist's running mate. And so I think that's exactly what happened. So, Bayan Filipino dropped out of the race, and the vice president, Bayan Filipino's running mate became Akon artist's running mate. And I don't think that the two ever had any sort of relationship, because, they were pretty much just forced to be together because of political deals and trying to get into power. But I can't say I blame Akon artist, because my opinion of him has gone up substantially this last week. With making some great cabinet picks, with making great decisions, with just getting rid of horrible people from our government. Our vice president, he wasn't great. He wasn't doing anything particularly wrong. And I think that I'm happy that we had him in power and not someone else. But still, I'm glad that he's been taking action, and that, this is happening now. But don't take this from me. Don't take this new wave of support from me. Don't take it from the polls. You can look at Armand Foley, and I always kind of like to discuss on this podcast that there's this, huge divide between the Federalist Party and the Constitutionalist Party, and Armand Foley, an con artist, and however you want to slice it. But now that the vice president is gone, Armand Foley's party, and Sheev Palpatine's party and William P. Nixon's party, all the Federalists have now come together with the Constitutionalists. Now they're willing to work together. So I want to quickly talk about, or not quickly, I want to go into detail, into depth, and talk about now what happens now that the vice president is gone. So I just mentioned that a lot of Armand Foley's people, as well as Armand Foley himself, have now, gotten better relationships with con artists, to the point where, it's even looking like maybe one of, maybe even Armand Foley himself could become vice president of the United States. But let me talk about that right now, because I want to give my predictions, and who I think may become vice president. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is a poll conducted by con artist himself, saying, who would you prefer as my vice president? He's really trying to sell this idea that, anyone in the United States can become president, but, it would be smart. It's a nice sentiment, and it's something that I'm sure a lot of people, are happy that he's saying that, oh, I don't care who, if you're an outsider, an insider, if you're poor, if you're whatever, you can become vice president. And I think that it's a great statement to say, just as a politician in general. But if con artist is really logical here, he's going to want to make one of two picks for vice president, maybe even one of three. But first, let's discuss who here's gotten the most votes. So Armand Foley, no surprise, very popular figure for some reason. He's gotten 32 votes. Alright, I think I accidentally keep pausing the recording. I think I accidentally pressed F7, which is my hotkey. Sorry about that. Anyway, I think I was talking about Armand Foley. Yeah, so here are some of the polls here. No surprise, Armand Foley coming in first with 32 votes to become next vice president. That is dwarfs. That dwarfs even the next person's person, which is just yourself. I should kind of want to see who said yourself. Yeah, so all these people said they wanted to be vice president. But a lot of people want Armand Foley, and it's no surprise. He's a great guy, but, it's, yeah. So we could very much see Armand Foley become vice president. And if he does, that's just going to give him even more reason to become president. I mean, right now in America we have, it's actually kind of funny, right? We have sort of a situation like it was in the beginning of the real America. We have George Washington, a.k.a. Bernard Caldwell, and then we have Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, a.k.a. con artist, and Armand Foley, who are like bitter rivals, but then now are coming together after someone was, got left from power, or they're binding over the hatred for someone, and now there's a possibility Armand Foley is the next vice president. So, I would have said, if you asked me yesterday who was going to become the vice president, I would have said the president pro tempore, JSBSD. No doubt in my mind. However, if I scroll up, I think it was in government alerts, if I scroll up just a little bit, yes. So he made an official statement saying that he, pretty much, you can read this if you want, pause it and read it now if you want, but he's saying that he does not want to be vice president. He says that he's going to be more useful as a president pro tempore, and he can do better work in the Senate. So he is officially declining any sort of offering of vice president by a con artist, which really puts the emphasis on whoever's going to become vice president next, because now it's really anyone's game. I think that Armand Foley is a great, a great pick, but if you had told me 2 weeks ago that Armand Foley was going to become vice president, I would have looked at you and said you're crazy. But, William P. Nixon is another great bet. I think he came in third. I mean, he came in fourth, I guess, but, technically third because this doesn't really count. But yeah, in terms of whoever got whatever person got the most votes, he came in third. And then in fourth there was Trey Namikos. I'm assuming that's just a joke because he's one of the most active moderators, and a great friend. So there's a lot of talk. So I think right now that JSJSJSBSD has completely distanced himself from becoming vice president, then it really is either going to be Armand Foley, William P. Nixon, possibly Sheev. It could be, but I think Sheev has other priorities. I think Sheev is trying to become, more of a household name in the House. William P. Nixon is done in the Senate. I think that is going to be a better vice president. I mean, Armand Foley is needed a lot more in the House than William P. Nixon is needed in the Senate. I think that, personally, William P. Nixon would have been a great vice president, even a great president. I support William P. Nixon on a lot of things. So, I'm saying Armand Foley, William P. Nixon, could be flour soup or savory soup, actually, because I don't know which one. I should have actually done more research on this, but I don't remember which one was going to become president or vice president if a con artist did not merge with President Bayan Filipino. So I believe even if maybe a con artist felt bad about betraying flour soup, so he's gonna say fuck it. He might as well become my vice president because he was going to be anyway. So right now I'm saying it's either Armand Foley, William P. Nixon, or flour soup that is going to become the next vice president. I think that maybe William P. Nixon's a little bit more of a stretch than someone like Armand Foley is, and maybe even flour soup is, but I think that William P. Nixon, it would be a great pick for a con artist, not only because William P. Nixon is a great experienced senator in this group, not only because he is, a Federalist, and him becoming vice president would effectively unite the Federalists and the Constitutionalists the same way Armand Foley becoming vice president would. He's not needed as much as Armand Foley is in the House. So people may laugh at me for saying William P. Nixon could become the next VP, but I think that is the best choice for ACON, to unite both houses of Congress, to unite both the parties ruling America right now, to unite everything. And I think that if he does this, if William P. Nixon is made the next vice president, a lot of things can start fitting into place and things can get back to normal and we will become a better group. But that's about it. I think I've run on a little too much. So with that, hopefully by the next time I speak with you, we'll have a vice president picked. The next time I'll speak with you will be tomorrow, actually, because I was meant to make an episode yesterday, but I'll make one tomorrow just because I feel bad for not making one in a few days now. So with that, I thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. God bless you.